Hey guys, Pete here. I keep getting questions in all my recent videos, so I'm going to make a video about my thoughts on this subject. This will contain spoilers and speculation based on the plot leak for Season 7 that surfaced on Reddit. The leak may be real, or it may be partially based on fact, but until Season 7 airs, we won't know for sure. If you don't want things to be potentially ruined for you, then please stop watching. Everyone else stick around till the end to find out about my current book giveaway and how to enter to win. With that out of the way, let's get into it. A few weeks back, a poster who has since deleted their account posted information on the Free Folk subreddit claiming to know the plot for Season 7. This has brought up a lot of questions about the leak's legitimacy since things like this have happened in the past. What makes it more complicated is that several things that the user Away for the Lads posted have been backed up with the filming location spoilers I've talked about in all my Season 7 spoiler videos. My personal feelings about this is the leak will not turn out to be 100% accurate. I won't get into all the details about everything that it says in this video, but there are a lot of things that would be hard to swallow if they turned out to be true. The main thing I'm going to talk about here is what people keep asking about, and that's specifically about Viserion being killed and taken as the Night King's mount. I guess it's important to say, in general, I'm not a fan of leaks, and I'm not promoting the idea that this is a good thing. I like the set spoilers because we can have some fun speculating about what the things we see might mean later. Having the entire story handed to us totally ruins the fun. But alas, the news is out there. So how likely is it that this part is true? First, when talking about what happens in the show, keep in mind that logic won't always win the day. I'm not a show hater and can forgive more than some book lovers, but some of the things they do just don't make sense related to the world the show is based on. So any argument that comes from that thinking isn't accepting the situation. As far as what's written in the lore and history, there is no historical evidence that a dragon was ever raised as a white. The others, or White Walkers, do reanimate animals though. We've seen them on undead horses in the show, and there's also references them to raising snow bears and stuff like that. Even though there is no evidence for it, it's easy to explain this one away. The White Walkers have lived north of the Wall for the last 8,000 years, which means, as far as we know, they never really actually encountered a dragon. The last time they came south was before the wall was built. There was exactly 0 dragons in Westeros at that time. Later, during the Targaryen reign, which brought, those dragons to Westeros from Essos, the dragons stayed in the south far away from the wall. There are a couple examples where dragons traveled north, most notably when King Jaehaerys I and good Queen Alysanne visited the wall. They came there with 6 of their dragons and half of their court, and Alysanne was so impressed with the Night's Watch that she talked to Jaehaerys into giving them the new gift. Obviously, none of their dragons died while they were there, though, and certainly none of them died north of the wall. So even though there's not historical evidence for it, there isn't any historical evidence against it either. Per the leak, this all happens because Viserion is killed by the Night King. Could that happen? Short answer here is yes. It seems unlikely to me, but the Night King is a supernatural beast. Really, we don't have any reason to say he couldn't do this. My silly logic tells me that the dragon would be flying and spitting fire, which would be a real disadvantage in the situation, but who the hell knows what the White Walkers have up their sleeves. Even though I don't want it to be possible, I can think of several ways it could be possible. So let's just agree, yes, the Night King could kill a dragon. In the same way, we'll have to agree that if he can kill a dragon, he can raise a dragon to be a white as well. Of course, this makes for some plot holes about why they only attacked Hardhome with dead people whites, but we all know how things go with CGI, and like I said, it doesn't always make logical sense, everything that happens in the show. So yeah, it is possible that he could raise and ride a dragon that he turned into a white. Part of the reason this is such a difficult thing to wrap my head around is because it's a theory that's been around for as long as I can remember, and it just never stood out to me as being one of the good ones. In the current version of the theory related to the leak, I hear people mentioning that the Night King gets a dragon to even things up. That doesn't seem necessary to me. If the White Walkers are as big as a threat as we've been told or led to believe throughout the series and all the related writings, they don't need any help. The dragons even things up. They don't give humans the some sort of huge advantage. I'm not so arrogant to think that I know what George R.R. Martin had planned for this, and we don't have much to go off here since the last 2 books aren't out, but everything always seemed to be pointing to the dragon having 3 heads, not 2 heads and then one on the other side. The story made me believe that this was necessary, and even with those dragons, there would still be a high price that would have to be paid. Per the leak, there will be a battle. Thoros or Beric, or maybe both, die. Jon almost dies, and then Viserion dies. Seems like there would be plenty of drama without the dragon dying. Dany comes to save them, and then she's able to turn the tide. I mean, it might make for some good special effects and some on-screen excitement, but there's a lot of other ways we could get to the Night King having a nice dragon if that was an important part of the story. I mean, I don't want to ramble on about this, but what purpose does it serve? So, for everyone that keeps asking what I think about it, I don't think it's necessary, and it sort of makes me wonder about how different the end of the show will be compared to the books. When I say different, I think they're going to the same place, but I just don't, I mean, I think this is a pretty far distance from what's going to happen in the books. I could be wrong. A lot of people could be wrong, but it just doesn't seem likely. I won't completely hate on it since it would probably still be fun to watch. I'm just not excited about it. And based on what I just went over, to be clear, it's definitely possible. It's disappointing when you've been super into something, you know, you've been reading, watching, and thinking about this thing, and it turns out differently than what the consensus leading up to the end was. There are a lot more characters and stories in the book, so maybe somehow this works as a combination of things to get to the same place at the end. It's hard to see, but as easy as it would be to say that D&D are incompetent and ruining everything, that hasn't really always been the case. They've done things I didn't like and things that haven't made logical sense, but the show still is good at a lot of things. So freaking out like it would be the end of the world is pretty pointless too. Do I think the leak is absolutely right? No. There's a lot of stuff that's turning out to line up with what's already out there though. My view is that some of the stuff just doesn't add up. In that way, it just goes to show how leaks are not fun. If it does turn out to be 100% right, how has that improved the experience of watching the show for us? I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to wait until I see it to believe it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think a white ice dragon adds to the story? Do you think if it turns out to be true that the show is in the middle of a huge nosedive? What do you think they could be merging from the books that might turn out to make sense for how things develop for season 8? Please like the video if you enjoyed watching it and subscribe to my channel to keep up with the latest videos. Leave a comment if there's anything you want to talk to. Obviously, I made this video not because I wanted to, but I did it more of a Q&A based on the same question getting asked over and over again. So if there's something you want to see a video about, just let me know. I mentioned the book giveaway in the beginning, which is open to all subscribers who leave a comment. When I reach 28,000 subscribers, I'll pick one comment from all the videos where I mentioned this giveaway and send that person a copy of the new illustrated 20th anniversary of A Game of Thrones. I'll put an Amazon link in the description so you can go there and give it a look if you haven't seen it yet. It's pretty awesome. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.